tea or coffee or whatever, or just stay there and be with us, even if you don't want to do it. Okay, I'm gonna talk about the size of the paper after the meditation, and I'm gonna say all the technical and the tools that we need and everything. I think that you have everything, but it's for everybody to have the list. So let's close our eyes for like 5 minutes. And if you don't want, you can do it with the open eyes, and stay straight, put your back straight, and just breathe deeply, like 2-3 times, like inhale and exhale. Once again, inhale and exhale. One more time, inhale and exhale. And now try to feel your body, to feel like the chair, and feel like if you have something contracted, some parts contracted on your body, just try to relax it and breathe deeply. And let's imagine that we are in the middle of a field, in a meadow, that it's surrounded by forest, and you can hear the birds, and also maybe it's a waterfall close by. You can see the waterfall and hear that water falling down. And imagine also the field around you filled with flowers and maybe tropical vegetation, if you wish. Like any kind of flower that you like. Like any flower that you can imagine, doesn't have to be something real. You can create your flowers, your trees. You look around and you see that beautiful butterflies flying around you. Like blue with a little tail. They're so beautiful and happy and joyfully flying around from flower to flower. And maybe one it's sitting in your shoulder. And also we can see the birds around, maybe some colorful parrots or any other birds that you like. And somewhere far away we can imagine the ocean and see that beautiful blue, how it's coming together with the sky blue. And I see all this green around us. And we feel the liveness of the nature around us. So let's keep all that feeling inside, to keep it with us, to stay with us. And maybe it's helping us to paint some beautiful flowers today. So when you're ready, let's open the eyes. And I want to thank you for being here today. And I'm gonna start with explaining a little bit what I'm using today. So the piece of paper, to be sincere, I don't know which is the size. Somebody asked me, You can work on any kind of paper. I'm using like really different sizes. Sometimes it's like a half of this, or I think it's like maybe 15 per 24, something like this. Sometimes I'm taking like normal block of watercolor paper and I cut it in 2 or 3 or 4, like really doesn't matter, it's completely up to you. And like watercolor, I'm using, now I bought some from Coop actually that I really like. It's nothing fancy, very cheap, and I like that has like more colors. These are the pads, like round ones, but also are some kind of square ones. I'm gonna show you right away. I have also this one that are from Lucas, that also I like them a lot, but these are like square. So you can work also with these ones, or you can work with the ones that are coming in tubes, like I have here a few. To be sincere, this I don't use them too much because are coming a lot of color out, and it's like almost I feel that I'm wasting the color. I mean, I work, but not in. Today we won't gonna use too much watercolor, so whatever you have at home, it's okay. If you don't have watercolors, you can use also acrylic paint, but just try to water it down with obviously a lot of water. So to not put a lot of acrylic, just a little bit of acrylic, and after that a lot of water to be like almost like transparent. Also, you can use these markers. They are like alcohol based. And talking about alcohol markers, I want to tell you about. There is a connection between what we do today and also another workshop that a colleague of mine, Yanka, is preparing for paint events. It's about the alcohol ink workshop, and I think we're going to be ready in maybe 1 week or 2, something like this. You can check paint event website and you're going to see all the information there. And I'm saying this because you're gonna do like think like 6 or 7 pages or let's say papers of alcohol ink, and maybe if you don't like some of them, you can use them to create some doodling to combine them with what we do today. So you can doodle anything on the top of the alcohol ink artwork, and you can do like geometric or like abstract or flowers or whatever. And I really recommend it because it's really, really beautiful workshop. And yeah, it's after that you can use it for let's say developing your creativity, combining like styles and media. So about the tools, I'm gonna use like very basic let's say brushes today. Actually, I'm gonna use just this one. It's not a big like list of tools today. So this is for the brush. You can use also, I'm going to show you another one, the square ones. This is a bit more round, this one, and this is square. Like you see, it's a bit more square here. But what we need is just to cover, like, let's say a square of watercolor. So that's why we don't use like a fine line, a brush or something else. And after that, for the doodling, we can use like this micron markers, or this another one. It's like are so many different brands. This is Rotring, and also we can use. I have here some jelly pens. these ones. I love these ones a lot. These are like, you see, jelly rolls. They come in white color, like golden, and I have another one that it's silver. Just one second. Yes, I have it here. So these are for the flowers. You can choose one of these. Also, you can use these ones that are like a little, like a very fine, fine line, yeah, fine liner, and it's also, I like it a lot. I'm gonna do something here. You see, like works like a fine liner, but this is coming in different colors. It's from Faber-Castell, and yeah, I like it also. And what else? Let's see. Any kind of actually ballpoint. So doesn't matter too much what you use. Use what you have at home, you know. Okay, so it's good to have like a water container. I have like, I'm a big fan of Movenpick. I'm not doing advertising, but I keep all these Movenpick containers, and I have like 2, 3 for like warm color and for the cold colors. So yeah, it's good to have 2 at least. Now, because we don't use too much watercolor, it's okay to have just one. So I'm gonna explain a little bit what we do today. So before we start, and I want to tell you about a bit about imagination and where I find my inspiration. So I think that imagination, I don't know if you see it before we started, I put it on the screen, that it's a very powerful tool, and that's why I like to start with this imagination, visualization practice, because it's helping us to like a general talking, it's helping us to create our life and to create our world in a way. So it's very good to start to do like a very conscious practice of imagining things and imagining like not just visual, I mean not just for painting, maybe also for our lives. I think actually we do it like unconscious, but the more conscious we do it, I think is the best. And it's also a way to find inspiration, because I think when we do this, imagination can go like completely free, like, you know, like the kid imagination that is playing with the kids are playing with imaginary friends, and they create like castles and so many games just with the imagination. So in some point we almost forget about it. And this is the key for, like I say, for the, let's say, for the creativity, to leave your imagination free. And so this is a way to connect with the creativity, with the inspiration that's coming from inside yourself, to the emotions and to this imagining. And another way, it's from the outer world, that can be anything that it's like around us, like the nature or even the cities. If you are into the geometry or whatever, it's like everything around us, it's an inspiration. And also what I'm doing, I want to show you where I find my imagination, that it's I mean, it's the nature, but also I have this, I love these postcards, especially for the flower, for what we do, and leaves, what we do today. So I'm having like a lot of botanical books, and these ones are helping me to connect like my weird imagination, like invent flowers, coming from like a image that already exists. So let's say I have this image and I'm creating something going from this, you know, like not copying this completely, but like maybe I copy like, let's say 80%, and after that I put something from me, or 50%. Is like, depends how it's, depends of the image and everything. So I really love these botanical postcards, because they are like very colorful and are like very exotic flowers that maybe we don't find in our environment. Obviously, I'm in love with this like exotic, like Asia, South Asia vegetation, and that it's a huge source of inspiration for me. So this is one of them. Yeah, they're coming like there are different collections, are like just with leaves. This is with flowers, so you can find anything. And another one are like I said, I have like floral books, botanical books, and as you see here, I have like a lot of like bookmarks. And I'm gonna show you a few, like for example, like leaves today. I don't want, just one second, I'm gonna do a bit bigger the camera in order that you see how many options are here, and I don't want to move too much the microphone and everything. And also it's a huge source of inspiration for me. Yeah, it's, let's say, when I don't have too much, I don't know, I feel like a bit in the blocked, I'm going here and I'm looking at the books, and I find something, maybe something new. Look at this, it's so beautiful. And let's see, also for flowers, also you have very, very close up of flowers. Obviously you can go in the nature and you can make pictures. Also I have, my phone is full of pictures of flowers, and you see, this is like Japanese art, and it's inspired from nature, obviously. And let's see what else. Anyway, this is a beautiful lotus flower. So you have the idea. I'm saying this that because sometimes a lot of people, they feel that they think that, I'm going like close up again, that the inspiration has to come just from themselves, and it's true, but also it's helping to look around us, and you don't have to feel that you are copying something. It's like, it's normal to, it's how we learn practically. We first let's say copying things, and after that we integrate, and after that we innovate. So it's a normal process. Okay, so hello Song. Okay, nice to see you here. So the first thing, I'm gonna put some tape on this. I think that we already put it in the description of the workshop, that it's good if you have some tape, and also hair dryer if you have, because it's easier to dry the watercolor, and then we can start right away. So I'm putting this tape because otherwise the paper, we're gonna make waves, and I want it to have it like fixed. Also for me, it helps a lot to not move the paper, and you can see it perfectly. Okay, so which side of paper should we use, smooth or rough? I like to use the rough part, but it's okay if you use also the smooth one. I think this is like a matter of preferences, and depends of the paper that you have. Sincerely, I like, for example, I'm gonna show you here, because I have like, this is like my notebook that is very, very thin. It's a normal notebook, and here I'm playing and I'm doing like different, you see, like when I have like some idea, I put it here. So really, it doesn't matter. Today, actually, these workshops are about using whatever you have at home and play, you know. I I like to not get stuck into, oh, I don't have that paper, I don't have that pen. I like to create with what I have at hand, and actually that it's a very good exercise for your creativity, because you know, you can maybe discover something that you know, wasn't discovered using something that nobody used before, you know, so, or combine things that nobody used it because you don't have everything. So yeah, that's why I don't want to be stuck in any kind of like rule or let's say, yeah, materials or whatever. So as for the paper, I'm keeping maybe 5 millimeters below the tape. Okay. And I put in all the sizes. So especially when you use a lot of water, if you want to color all the paper, then it's very good to have like this tape, because yeah, it's keeping the paper fixed and it's not waving so much. Okay. Okay, and now that we have it, let's take this brush that I have it somewhere here. My table is a bit, not a mess, but I have so many things that, no, I don't know where I put that brush. Okay, I'm gonna take it, I found it, okay. So I like this round one this time. And like the colors that we use today really doesn't matter. I'm gonna take like any color. You can play a little bit with the warm colors and the cold colors, and see the effect of doodling on different colors. And also this helps because maybe you want to use, if you have like different markers like ballpoint like this ones, or you want to use the white, the golden, or the silver, you can see which color works better with this. Because if we have like, let's say, a very bright color like let's say yellow, maybe using the golden is not a very good idea because it's not creating contrast. So we need to create contrast. But also you can put like a very intense value of the color of yellows, let's say, and maybe it's working also golden. It's nice to experiment. So let's start. I'm gonna start with warm colors, and I'm gonna do like let's say maybe 4, or how, doesn't matter. I think that it's nice everyone to have their to do it like whatever you feel like. Normally I'm doing like a square more or less this size is like let's say 4 centimeters per 3 centimeters here, but can be like any other size that you wish. I prefer to put the page like horizontally for you to see it better. But in the reality, actually, I like to put it like vertically. I don't know why. This is but it's not very good for the camera. So that's why I put it like this. But if you want, you can put it vertical. It doesn't really matter. And also, if you want, you can have like a few layers of watercolors, or you can have just one layer. This depends of your preference, how you like to have to use the watercolors, like more transparent layers or like more intense. For me, again, I'm doing for the sake of visibility, for you to see it better. So I need to have like a big contrast. So I'm gonna put the watercolor value of the color. I'm gonna put it very intense. So that means that I'm gonna pass the brush with the color like maybe 2 or 3 times. I think for now it's okay. And I'm going to the next color, that it's a kind of orange. Also here you can use like in 2 ways. So the first way is like wet on dry. This means that your paper it's dry, and your color, your brush, it's wet. And I'm gonna show the next square. I'm gonna show how I'm doing the wet on wet. It's another method. Okay, so now so practically this is the second method. I'm taking the brush full of water, and you won't gonna see it because it's just water, and I'm just making this square. Like I see it obviously. And now I'm taking the color, and you're gonna see the effect. So now you see how the color it's spreading, because I have the base that was wet. And this layer, it's a bit more transparent because I have a lot of water. So my brush was full of water, and the base, the background was full of water. This method takes a bit more time to dry, and that's why I like to, especially in these webinars, I don't want you to wait for me to have the colors dry. So I prefer to work like wet on dry. Like you see, these ones, they are dry already. This here and this, we're gonna take some time, but till the end it will dry. And also needs a bit more layers, so I'm passing again with the brush. About the size, also try to be quite flexible. Like doesn't have to be like perfectly equal. If you want, you can come back and do it a bit more bigger if you want. It's like we just need like a base of color. Okay, and now I'm trying, let's say this, I have a red here. So I'm gonna have like 3 and 4, like 12 squares. But like I said, you can have like how many you want. You can even take another paper and do more if you want. This is just what my paper allows me in on this size. Also, it's because I wanted to have this a bit bigger. Sometimes I do the squares a bit smaller, or I'm doing like ovals. You can do also like round, like circles. Okay, and also obviously you can combine colors, like I'm gonna show here, even if this is not. So here I have already some combinations, but I'm gonna show. So I'm taking this, I don't see it here. I'm taking this orange here, and I take a bit of, let's say, pinkish, and let's see what is coming. Yeah, I like this. And I have another color. Also, I like to try like to combine, to create like different colors. Okay. So you see, it doesn't have to be perfect. Sometimes we get stuck in trying to do something perfect and we lose actually the fun. I think the most important thing in art has to be fun. Because if it's not, you don't go back. You feel frustrated and you don't go back. So I think having fun, it's the most important thing. Okay, now I'm gonna go towards like a bit more clear color, like kind of pink. And if you have time to draw me a line, how is it for you? That's okay. If not, it's okay also. Just if I'm going too fast or to adapt a bit of at the speed. Okay, and now I'm gonna combine some. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna combine this. This is almost like skin color with. I'm gonna put it here. With let's say this orange. Sometimes it's so difficult to find a color that you don't like. I mean, at least for me, I love them all. So it's a kind of bit orange, but a bit more clear. I'm gonna add a bit more. Okay, I like that. And okay, towards violet. I like this violet, it's really beautiful. Reminds me of the butterflies and dragonflies. Now that is coming the spring, you start to see so many colors around. It's really beautiful, the nature. Okay, also it's good to have some paper if you need around. But like I said, today we just stay like very basic into the watercolor. We gonna do more like doodling thing. And let's say now I'm going towards like violet with a bit of reddish. Let's see what is coming here. Oh, nice. I like it. Which is your favorite color? If you have time to reply. I'm very curious because we are so different, you know. It's like you can see that everybody is creating something different all the time. I'm like all the time between, let's say, some turquoise and violet and pinkish. Even that I don't like too much these colors to wear like clothes, but like working with them, I love them. It's interesting. And now I'm going towards turquoise. Okay. I don't know how you see it. It's more greenish here actually. Maybe I'm gonna add. Also, you can add like when you still have wet the color, you can add like another color on the top. So now I had that greenish and now I put a bit of bluish and it's a bit more turquoise, I think. And I'm going towards blue now, like sky blue, water blue. So as you see here, I'm using a bit all the colors, like from warm colors, I'm going towards like cold colors. And now I'm taking like a very dark, like violet, like indigo almost. Yes, I like this one also. This is very nice when you work with golden. I think all the dark blue, violet, indigo, they work very nice with the golden marker or jelly roll. Okay. So now if you feel that you want to come back with some colors to make it more intense, you can obviously do that. I'm gonna go a bit more to this violet. Okay. So now I'm gonna use I have a heat gun to dry. I don't have too many wet, maybe just this last two. If you have a hair dryer, that's working also. But if you didn't have the masking tape, the page, your paper are gonna fly. So it's good to keep it a little bit. If you have, also take care with the computer, if you have the computer close by, because sometimes maybe can heat up your computer. I don't know, it's better to have like, to take care of everything, you know. And I'm gonna take my heat gun. So this is my heat gun. It's, I bought it like very long time ago from Obi. And it's very good for any kind of art that I'm doing, like also for acrylics, because for acrylics takes much more time to dry, and if I want to have a layered dry and paint on the top, I need to use this. But the problem is that it's going up to 1000 degrees, and it's very dangerous. So it's good to, if you have something like this, probably already know how it's working. If not, to try to use it like quite from far away, and obviously to not to protect the computer and everything that you have around. If you have some plastic or whatever, that can melt really. And also never touch this part, because this is metal, and it's after you use it can have like 500 degrees, or it's really, really dangerous. So I'm gonna start to use this like maybe 1 minute, and I'm gonna stop the sound, because otherwise you won't gonna like the sound. And after that I'm gonna come back. Okay. Okay, here I am back again. And what can happen when you do this is that you see here, because this is melting also, like everything that is glue, can be that your tape it's going a little bit off, and yeah, it's doing a little bit of wave, but don't worry, it's not a big deal. Okay, maybe you have to put a little bit tape on the top if you want again, or just let it like that, because like I said, we don't use too much water, and yeah, it's okay. So now I'm gonna ask you to, if you want to send me a message when you finished, when your colors, your watercolors are dry, to pass to the next step. And yeah, if I see that more or less everybody finished with the colors and they have dry paper, we can pass to the next step. Also, now it's a moment for the people that they have the paper dry. If you want to ask anything, I'm here to answer. Okay, if you finish, also you can put the watercolors away. We don't use them today anymore. And you can bring all the pens that you have, to have them close, to prepare for the next step. Okay. Okay, some people are ready. I'm waiting like a few minutes, just 1 minute. And we can continue. So I'm gonna comment a little bit before we start. I'm not doing anything because yeah, some people they still need like a little bit of time. So what we do today, it's about doodling flowers and leaves. It's not something that we have to do like reality, like real flowers, real leaves. We can, like I said before, to get inspiration from something that we see outside or we have in our mind, some kind of flower or some kind of leaf, and we do like a very simplistic way of doing. Obviously, you can do it as much complicated you want, but it's not a need. It's like just a few lines, like almost like a suggestion of a flower or a leaf, or you can literally invent a flower. So yeah, it's a lot of freedom in this, and that's why I like a lot, because it's like you can start from something that you know, and after that develop it, and it's giving a lot of freedom, and that's also it's helping a lot of your creativity, you know, to not stay stuck in some kind of image, or it's also frustrating if you want to paint something like very realistic and you cannot do it, because for the very realistic technique you need like almost years of practice and courses, and it's not really so easy. So that's why it can be that you try something, it's not working, and you run away from this and you never want to try. So for me it's much easier to not put like very high standards, like I want to paint like a rose, like a realistic one, and I'm trying to go, also it's my preference, I like to do something that it's to put my touch. So to do something that it's close to the realism, but it has more like my, I don't know, my style, let's say, my way of seeing it. So yeah, that's why I'm not painting realistic. My style, when I'm painting like acrylic, I'm not going towards realistic things. Just maybe a little bit, but still, I'm not painting realistic. So let's see how it's here. Yeah, with a hair dryer works well. I know. Also, it's good. It's like also I have one, and I'm using this heat gun because it's a bit faster for me, and I want to be sure that it's dry fast. But yeah, you can use the hair dry. Also, if you have one, it's good, because for the for this for Yanka's workshop for the alcohol ink, also you can use the hair dryer for a lot of techniques. Actually, for the fluid painting, it's good to have one at home. But like women, I think we all have like a hair dryer. Okay, so I would say that I see that more or less everybody finished this, and I'm gonna pass to the doodling. So I would suggest to try first something that is very fine, like the finest tip that you have. I have here like 01, 05, 07, and 005, which is my favorite because it's the finest one. Also, what else? Yeah, this is the finest one. Because these jelly rolls, they are very nice, but they're a bit too thick sometimes. So I'm gonna start with the 005. If it's too thin, I'm gonna pass to the 01 for you to see it, or maybe I start with the white actually, because you see it better. I see that this is quite dark. Like I said, it's good in painting. It's good to have this contrast, because it's not boring. If I'm painting with the same color, you won't see anything. So the contrast is very important in any kind of style in painting. Is making the paint more attractive, and it's a bit like in life. It's like you see now, we stay at home for so many days that we are fed up, and it's not too much contrast in our life. So it was much better when we could like stay home and go out, stay home and go out, like stay home and go on holiday, and all this contrast. Actually, it's the salt and pepper of life. So it's the same in painting. So let's start with whatever it's coming in your mind, if you want, or if you want, you can do exactly what I'm doing. I always encourage people to do what they feel, like what is coming from their imagination, or what they feel to express in that moment. But I know that it's very difficult sometimes at the beginning, especially if it's the first time when you do this. It's you feel a bit like maybe not very confident. So it's good to copy somebody, and in time I know for sure that that unicity in yourself wants to go out and to do something that it's completely coming from yourself. But it's the way how we learn. We copy, like let's say we copy our teachers. We go to school and we learn what they teach us, and after that, even if you go to the sorry for the hand if you go to the art school, you learn how the big names, big painters were painting, and slowly you start to you feel confident enough to try what is coming out from yourself. So you feel like confident to innovate, to create something that it's unique. Maybe you combine different kind of elements, different kinds of styles, or like different styles of people that you admire. You put them together and you create your own style. So it's the way how the innovation it's happening, because. Let's be sincere, like all the things that we create in our planet came from ourselves, not from other planet, let's say. So we are influenced by our parents and our the people that we admire. It's impossible to not be influenced by somebody from this planet. So that's why, like all the artists, they recognize this, that it's okay to copy somebody. Obviously, not to say that it's yours, but in some point to start to innovate. So For the flowers, I'm gonna do some of them that I did already in the video that you've seen, because I want you to see how I did it, and yeah, to see the process, and maybe something else is coming also out of something new. I have to move a bit. Okay, so the first thing, it's something very simple. Okay, I hope it's working. I'm doing this, like, let's say, little lines, and this and here on the top I'm doing like a center, and this is like a kind of flower. So this isn't a flower that we know, doesn't exist. That's why I wanted to start with it. It's a flower that I, let's say, invented, or I don't know, maybe I've seen somewhere, because sometimes it's very interesting how it's happening, this inspiration. Maybe you see somewhere, you like it a lot, and it's staying there in your mind. So in some point we're going to come out, and it's yeah, maybe it's not exactly like what you've seen like maybe 1 month ago, but it's something that came from that image that you've seen somewhere someday. So this is one of the flower. I'm doing something here again. Okay, it's quite visible. I am trying to stay in a position that you see my pen and not to cover. Maybe like this is better. Yeah. Okay. Okay, here I'm doing another one. So you can do it like maybe 3 circles or just one. You can do like a circle that it's a bit thicker, and the other ones are a bit thinner. Here I'm doing again one, a smallish one, and here like very small. You can do another one here like this, and I think it's enough. So also it's nice to have like a bit contrast in size, not just in between the colors, because this give a bit more, like, let's say, dimension, because everything that it's a bit bigger, since that for our mind it's a bit like closer, and what is smaller it's a bit more far away. So you see, it's still the contrast, because if I'm doing something like I'm gonna show here, like completely even everything. I'm gonna take one that's a bit thicker. Okay, 0707, where is 07? Here. So if I'm doing something like this, and all the things are the same size and in the same place, it's a bit boring. I don't know. I mean, it's how I see it. And also it's a bit a mess. So that's why I like to have like a bit of difference and contrast in size. Because obviously here I don't have too much contrast in colors. I mean, I have just 2 colors. So I like to create the contrast in the size. Also, if you want, you can add some, let's say, a bit of black. It's not a must. I just wanted to do it because I haven't done this in other, and I really like it. So I'm gonna put just a little bit more grass here, like a bit like left, right, going left, right. Okay. And if you want, you can add some black also, but it's completely up to you. And now I'm gonna pass to the next one. So how is it for you up to now? I just want a little bit of feedback. You see, well, it's okay, the rhythm? Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, Jennifer, it's okay. I did already the first flower. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna pass to the next one. This is my favorite leaf, let's say, the Ginkgo biloba leaf. I don't know if I say it well. Song, you have to help me here. For a lot of time I said like jingo, but seems that it's gingo. So I think it's yeah, doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like um, something that is more and less like this. I mean, everybody has like a different way of doing it. Ah, this is a bit like too much. I like it when it's not too much waving. So I'm gonna do something here that it's a bit less. Like on the sides. Okay. So if you can do it a bit less waving here, it's okay, but also like this, I like it. So now we go like very small thin lines from up to down or from down up. I prefer to go like from up down because I can measure like the distance between the lines. And I'm going slowly. Doesn't have to be like perfectly the distance, perfectly like equal the distance. Okay, so we have one, and maybe down here we use a bit of this thicker one. Okay. And now we go to the next one. And we do the same. You can do like different, to start to do like the big, let's say, lines that are like guiding lines. And after that, you go in the middle and all the time in the middle till obviously you don't have space anymore. And we have the next one. Okay. Okay. Now I'm gonna pass to make another flower. This is also like an invented flower, and oh, this I don't want to work. So I'm gonna do like two lines more or less like this, and maybe another one here. Here you can add like a bit more. And this is like really like a wave. It's a bit like this one, like the first one, but I'm gonna do it like a wave around. Like also you can play with the size of the tip. You can use like different tips. And in the middle I'm putting some dots. So I'm gonna use now the thinner one here, and I'm gonna do like a smaller flower. Okay, God, I don't know what is going on today. My pens, they're not working very well. Okay. Okay, finally one that is working. So this is like a bit more thinner. Okay. And I'm gonna do another one here. Okay, and here. It's a bit smaller, and here again a bit smaller. And I'm adding another one somewhere here, like very small. Okay. And maybe another one. Okay. So these are the, let's say the flowers, and we can do some little leaves, or you can let it like this. As you see, like how it's working a bit the inspiration and the creativity, it's like when you have like blockage, you go to something that you had before and you take the main idea. So this is like circles. So what not to do circles, but they are like deformed. So practically it's the same idea, but a little bit distorted. So now I'm gonna add like different kinds of leaves. Like for the leaves, you can add anything that you want. If you want to check now, I'm gonna do one here. Like I'm going like almost like a zigzag, something like this. So it doesn't have to be, it has to be like completely loose, you know, doesn't have to be like a real leaf. Sometimes the more loose and strange is the better. Okay, so this is another one. Okay. So now I'm gonna go to the next flower. And this one, I will try the golden to see, because here I have like, this is like quite intense color. The value is very strong, it's very high. So I think I am gonna have on this and this one, I'm gonna have like big contrast with the golden. And I want you to see how it looks like with gold also. So let's do something here that it's like a bit better for the gold. I'm gonna do like something that actually I use a lot in my acrylic paint. So we can put like always like some random sticks, like they are for the flowers. And here I'm starting, maybe if you want just to look for first and after that to do something, because it's very important to see how I'm starting and the shapes that I'm doing. Okay, so I'm starting with a small semicircle, and after that I'm going a bit around and inside, and like left, right, and I'm increasing the size of the semicircles. And after that, like they go a bit smaller and bigger. So this is like, let's say like a very abstract rose, let's say, just to give like a name, but it's like, you see a little bit these flowers in Japanese and Chinese art. Obviously they look much better here because I didn't have space and I don't want to do exactly that. They look a bit different, but yeah, if you see, I think it's like a chrysanthemum or something like that. Okay, and we go here up, and here I'm gonna do something that it's a bit smaller, so not very big flower. It's a bit smaller, this one. And here also a bit like more or less the same size, a bit smaller. Something like this. And here also something that it's a bit small. Okay. And now for the leaves. Also I'm doing something abstract, like almost like a suggestion of leaves. Doesn't have to be like, also you can let them without leaves if you want, if you think that it's too crowded. It's like, yeah, it doesn't have to be with leaves. Okay. I'm really curious to see your flowers. That's the let's say not big advantage of the webinars, that I cannot see what you do, and I would love to see that. Maybe if you want, you can send it after that to paint events, or yeah, also in Facebook you can tag me, Anna Paz Artist, or paint events, and we can exchange our our leaves and flowers. So I'm gonna pass to the next one. If you have questions, just let me know, because I can stop a little bit and I can do it again like in a bigger size. I can go like in this paper, and I can do it like big for you to see it much better, because sometimes can be that here being so small, the square, it's not very visible, very clear. So yeah, just let me know, drop me a line in the chat, and I can go back. So I'm gonna pass to the next one, and the next one I'm gonna try also with golden. I think I have a nice contrast here, and I'm gonna do some other flower that also I like a lot. It's like also a bit. Okay, somebody want me to show the last flower again. I'm gonna do it here. I'm gonna, yes, here you see still this one. So you can start with this to have some guidance. And I'm starting with like a semicircle, and after that I'm going again here, like yin yang more or less. And after that I'm going around practically with like little semicircles that are a bit like thicker. It almost looks like a little bananas that are like around each other. So this is actually the shape that I like more here. I didn't have too much space, and also my pen, it's a bit thick. So when I do it like bigger, I like to do this like, yeah, like a bit shape, banana shape, sorry. So, or something like this. This would be ideal, but sometimes it's not too much. We don't have too much space here. When you draw something or you paint something that it's a big scale, obviously you have much more space and it's more clear your flower. But yeah, here it's like I said, it's like just a little suggestion of flowers. And like you see, it doesn't have to be like completely like perfect, or just go around, and at some point when you feel like, you can say that okay, that's finished. You just feel it, it's like, because of the size. And I'm gonna start another one here to see. Okay, let me know if it's better now that it's a bit more clear. Okay. Okay, another big jingo in white paper. Okay, I'm gonna do, I think this is clear, no? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do the ginkgo here. So this time I'm gonna do it like, yeah, much bigger. So I'm starting with this, and after that something like this. Also, if it's not coming from the first line, you know, you can do like small lines, something like this. And after that, sometimes I like to break a bit you see, the ginkgo leaf. And now that I have this, I'm going with this line here. So this is my break. And after that, I'm doing like lines, like big lines, to have like a reference. I'm not starting with like from the wall going like in an order. I'm just doing like reference lines, and after that I'm going in the middle of these ones. And you see, it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, if you look at the ginkgo leaf, you're gonna see that it's not really perfect. Okay. And slowly, slowly, I'm going on all these middles, filling up. Okay. And again, in the middle, especially the bigger ones. And for me, it's this very important to keep in mind that it doesn't have to be perfect, because the nature is not perfect. If you look at the like trees, or they're not, nobody went with a ruler there and put like a straight line. It's something very organic and, I don't know, like natural, like, yeah, organic. And yeah, it's also takes a lot of pressure from ourselves, and to do something perfect. And yeah, it's a bit easier. And now here in the middle at the base, I'm coloring a little bit to have this more like darker, let's say. You still can go with some lines where you have, and the lines can be like not till down, can be like till, lose them in the middle. So also here where it's like the broken part, you can do a bit more dark thing. So yeah, I would say that this is one, like the big one, and after that to do the from a side, let's say I'm doing this, and after that something like this. And yeah, so this is, let's say it's like a small one from a side. And here is the same. I go from up, down. So this is like very, very, let's say, a rough, fast version. And here I'm doing this. I think I have a, let me show you a bigger one. I'm coming back. I have a lot of small, like, say, pads with different kind of flowers that I did in this way. So this is a big ginkgo that it's like done with the black one, and it's exactly the same. So I start like this is a bit more wave here, and even like a bug I did here. Like the broken part, it's the way I'm doing. And yeah, these are like different kind of flowers. This is another one here. This is like very twisted flower, and this is a big one, also like very broken. And yeah, so I'm not gonna go through all this, but let me know if it's okay with the ginkgo and with the other flower. It's everything clear? Okay, just drop me yes or not there, or if you want me to come back, or whatever you feel. Thank you very much. Okay, so now I'm gonna go to the next flower or leaf, which is they're very simple ones, and let's see if it's working. These black ones, I'm like really, I don't know what is going on with this. Maybe because I let them in the sun. So here I'm gonna start first with with the flowers. So here I'm gonna do again, like here, like the first one, like some circles, one bigger, one smaller, one smaller here, and maybe another big one here, and somewhere here. So these are gonna be our flowers. And now I'm going down with like the stems, like this. And what I'm adding here, it's like a little circle on the top. I mean, not circle, let's say like a dot, a big dot. Okay. And now I'm starting to do like, I'm gonna show here because it's bigger. Okay. So we have this big flower. This is our dot, and this is going down. So now I'm starting to do the round circles, and if you pay attention, here in the middle I'm going almost straight, and after that I'm starting slowly to curve on the other direction. So you see that I have almost like let's say yeah, you see it like three-dimensional, and from down I'm going a bit up, like loose, because this is our base, let's say, and I'm doing something like here. And here I'm gonna do like a leaf, something like this. Okay, so again, doesn't have to be perfect. We just go with left and right with the circles, and towards middle it's almost straight. It doesn't have to be like super straight, just more or less straight. So I'm gonna continue, and this one here maybe it's a bit easier because being so small, it really doesn't have to be perfect. Don't get stuck in the perfection. So how do you see it better? Like me, the hand here. No, no, here. Maybe like this. Yeah. Okay. So here we can do like again this, and the small ones almost you can make them like straight if you want, but try to have like a bit of curvature. Okay. And the last one. Okay. And now for the leaves, the leaves, we can do something very simple, like very long, elongate leaves. And if you want, you can add some line in the middle of the leaf and do a little bit of texture, like something like this. But again, it's not a must. You can also let them like this. Okay. Again, if you want me to go back to this one, I mean, I have also here the bigger version. Okay. It's almost like a Christmas ball, and after that you do the lines left and right and in the middle straight. Okay. Okay, how is it for everyone? If you feel like drop me a line, if it's everything fine, if you need some more details or... Okay. Okay. Maybe I go a bit like a close-up, that you can see it better for the next one. Something like this. What do you think? It's better if you see it a bit closer? Okay, I'm gonna pass to the next one, and this also, it's a bit like an invention. So I'm starting again with the stems. I'm doing some one here, one a bit more up, and maybe one here. Maybe this is a bit better, no? Good, thank you for the feedback. And now I'm starting with a little, let's say, semicircles, going left and right. And also here you can go like how much you want. Depends like how big you want to have the flower. Okay. So my pens, they don't want to work today. Okay, I'm gonna show it again here, a bit bigger. So we do it like this. So I'm starting with a small one, and after that I'm increasing the size of these semicircles. Like how much you want. Okay. This is one of them, and after that we go for the next flower, the same model. It's like a pattern that we follow. Like most all the flowers, they're like patterns, repeated patterns. Okay, and now are coming the very small ones. Okay, I'm gonna put this one here that you can see it like this. So it's this one. And I'm gonna continue with these small ones that are not very visible, but it's exactly the same pattern. Okay. And another one here. And we have our flowers. Here, what I'm gonna do is to put a little bit of golden on the top. I don't know, just had the idea now. And maybe do the leaves like also with a bit of golden. So for the leaves, I'm gonna show here. So I put like I'm gonna repeat a bit for if you want to, if you didn't hear it or you're absorbed in the creation. I put a bit of golden in the middle, and for the leaves, I'm just going something like this. So really like abstract leaf, doesn't have to be perfect. And you can color a little bit one side or and the other one, do it like this. It's up to you. Okay. So we pass to the next one. And the next one, it's a bit similar with this one. I mean, I take this idea, but I'm gonna do like very, very small petals. I'm gonna show you here first, because it's much visible. So I have the middle of the flower, and I'm going like this. This is like the basic flower that we learn maybe when we are in kindergarten. Everybody knows this. And after that, I'm going like another circle in between the petals. So this is the second circle. And but also I'm doing like in between this now I'm starting to fill up completely all the spaces. Okay, so I'm going like this. Try to not be very exact, because after that looks a bit weird. Like even if it's a bit space in between the petals, it's actually okay, and looks more like natural, like organic. And here it is, our next flower. And also I think this is like a bit like looks like a chrysanthemum or something. I don't know, it's like it's completely up to you to give a name. Okay, so this is our other flower. This I think it's like my favorite. It's like so simple and in a way it looks so nice. I don't know, or it's just me. So I'm gonna put this here, you see it, and I'm gonna do the flowers here. Like also I'm gonna do like 3 of them, and I'm starting with, let's say, the middle point, and I'm going with the first layer of petals. Can be 5 or 6 or 7, I don't know, like depends on you how big you want to make them, or small, you see, or like abundant flower or a bit more spacey flower. And now I'm going for the next layer, and I'm continuing with this next. Obviously here, because you don't have too much space, yeah, maybe you don't want to go too much. And you see, it doesn't have to be perfect. I like when it's like, it's not completely round, when it's a little bit more like fluffy, like more like, it's not even, you know. And here I am doing like the same. Okay, and here also I'm gonna do something that it's like a bit smallish. Yeah, and this is our the flower, and the leaves also are up to you. I'm doing this like almost that my hand is shaking. You can go do do do, and here the same do do do, and the same. Let's do something here. Do do. Yeah, try to have this, you know, kid indifference of what is coming out. It's like maybe it's coming something nice, maybe not. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think it's better to show them in the white paper first. Now I realize because it's, yeah, these are so small that almost you cannot see very well, and the contrast it's very good in the on the paper. So I'm gonna continue like that. Thanks for the feedback. Okay, so. Actually, I'm going to take another white paper, or I have here, I'm going to take from this. And when this is finishing, I'm going to pass to the next one. Okay, so now I'm going to do something that it's a bit more complicated, but not really complicated, let's say. Looks like, if you look at it, maybe it looks complicated, but it's not really. So I'm gonna show it here like very big because it's like yeah, it's more richer, let's say flower. Trying to see what is working here from all these pens that I have. Okay, so first of all we start with it's very weird because we start from up down. So we do like a small, let's say, triangle, but it's very loose triangle. So the shape that we gonna work with it's something like this. That I have it on the painting that on the page that I show you in the video. So this is gonna be, let's say, our flower, something like this, and here we're gonna have some stuff coming out. Okay, so I'm starting with this small one, and after that I'm going like left and right, the first layer. Okay, the next layer, it's somewhere here, like in the middle. So if you look at what is happening in the, let's say in drawing, it's good to try to see geometrical shapes. So to imagine. So here I have like a rhomb, like something like this. And this is the first, let's say, shape where I draw in. Like this is my shape here. Because this is helping you to be like more organized. And now I'm going like on a side of this, and I'm doing this. I'm continuing with this one, and so on. Maybe here I'm doing like 2, and again I'm trying to come back like final shape. My final shape has to be something like this, more or less, of the flower. So I think I kind of have it, and now in between I put this stem of the flower, and also I connect these small flowers that are like in between. Okay? And now I'm trying to give like to fill up a bit the flowers here. This actually it's something that exists in the nature. not really like super realistic. I did it obviously, but I'm sure that reminds you of something that you probably seen already in the nature. And after that, I'm going with this. I want to have some staminas, or yeah, that are coming out from the flowers, and I'm putting like a little dot. You can do like 2, 3, depends how much space you have inside. Okay, so this is our flower, and after that you can do like something like this, like a leaf. So, what do you think about this? This is a bit more like a cluster of flowers, and maybe it's a bit more complicated, but let me know if you want me to show you again from the beginning. It's not a problem, okay? So, I'm gonna put it like here, and I'm gonna start to do it on this one, and I move a bit because yeah, now it's visible. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so now because it's very small, you don't have to do so many things here. Like in the flower, you can do it like a bit smaller, like I don't know, 2, 3. Let's say I'm gonna show you in this one where I did here. Like, let's see if it's focusing the camera. Hello, focus. Okay, now it's a bit more focused, I think. So you see how I did this like very, very smallish. The dots here doesn't have to be like super geometrical too much. It's okay if are like 2 here, like 3 here, 2 and 2, or like 2, 2, 2 and 2. So just feel like start with the big one, with the small one here on the top, and go like maybe I don't know, like a half of our square, and after that to have some space also for the, let's say, from some leaf if you want. Okay, let's do it here. Now see if it's doing some, yeah. Okay, so I'm starting here. Maybe I do it with white, it's a bit more visible. Okay, yes, it's more visible, this one. Okay. And I'm going to do another one here. I think I've seen them like in a field. They are like violet of blue or bluish, something like this. This kind of flowers. Okay. And some random leaves. Okay, so Let me know how it's working this. I really want to see how, if it's very complicated or like not so much, or I'm gonna leave this here. I think that every process that it's break down in little steps, it's let's say doesn't look so complicated anymore. Where should I put it for you to see it? Okay, I'm gonna let it there for a while. So yeah, that's why I think it's good to do this a bit in the on the white paper separately. And now I'm gonna do one here that it's really, this is a bit more simple, but still I'm gonna do it here on the big paper, on the white one. So this is like an invented one. I have like, let's say two. Okay, thank you, Defi. Thanks so much. Here I'm doing like, I'm starting with 3 petals, let's say, like 1 up and left and right. So I think this is till here, it's simple. And after that we go a little bit curved, like how we did it here in the round ones. So we fill up like this, like left, right, and a little bit curved. Also here. Okay. And now it's almost like doing a mandala, which is my favorite, obviously. And here I'm doing like exactly like a mandala shape, like these things. And here I'm doing some dots inside to fill up this space. Also here inside I'm coloring a bit this part, that it's a bit more darker. So there really are like elements of mandala. And here I'm doing like can be any shape. You can do like really a mandala. I really like this, like this. And you can add some stuff like this. I don't know, this I just invented it now. So I don't know, finally it's like flower. You can do something here, like why not? You know. Also, if you want, you can add a little bit more elements here, the base, like this. And here it is, our invented flower. Yeah, so I'm gonna do here like this thing, like quickly, like this, and the petals. Okay, let's try something a bit thinner. So I don't know, my hands are a little bit messy. Also, I had like my dog. I was playing with it, and I had like a stick in the hand, and he confused my hand, my finger with the stick, and I was like all week like a big thing here, and also on the other side was yeah, sometimes like artist hands, they are not the most beautiful. So I'm filling up this space here, and now I'm going like this, Also here, like semicircles, I fill up the middle part. And the dots. And after that, I'm doing these semicircles on the top of this. And let's say here I'm doing something different. I'm doing just this. So here on the watercolor, this part I did it just like round, like a semicircle. It's working like that. Doesn't have to be like, it's nice to try different things. And I'm doing dots here, and after that some things like this. Even if you don't have space, do just on the place where you have space. And actually now I have the idea to do something also here. Sometimes it's like, okay, where do I stop? When do I have to stop? And some leaves. Yeah, looks like almost like a ladybug on the flower. I think. Okay, we don't have too much time. I mean, I can stay like 5-10 minutes more, but maybe you have already something scheduled, so I'm gonna go a bit faster. I want to do here, I'm gonna jump to, because I really want to show you this. It's so beautiful, the golden on this indigo, or also in on the dark blue, like I said before. So now I want to do, let's say, I have one that I don't know, I haven't done it here. No. Okay, so I have this. I'm gonna do it here first. I forgot. Another paper. Yeah, I'm gonna take another paper. So this is, I think, this kind of exercise, like in very small spaces and working with small elements, helps a lot to train your patience and to chill out, because you have to be very concentrating, like these little details. You have like little space and you have to do like very small elements, and that needs a bit of, like breathing in and out and be there. And it's like, I don't know, for me it's like really like meditation. And sometimes I have to say that I don't have the the mood for that, but sometimes I really love it. So I'm gonna do this other flowers. Make a bit more up, something here. And this is a shape that also I like a lot. It's a bit similar with something in the nature. So I have this, let's say like a triangle, a bit curved. And after that I'm doing this. So already we have like a 3-dimensional. And I can play here, give some like shadow on this side. And here I'm coming with like very random, staminas, or I don't know how to tell them. Also you can do something like little dots here. And here we do these things. So I'm gonna do the same here. it's like a bell almost, no? Like a church bell, something like this shape. And we do here this. So again, don't get stuck in that has to be like perfect. It's okay if you have like more like lines. Doesn't have to be everything done from the first line, because anyway after that you come with like some kind of shadow, and it's nice to have like different lines, you know. And here we do some kinds of staminas, and this is again here our, yeah, I don't know the name of this in English, gosh. If you can help me to send me a message, I don't know what's the name of this, like these things that are coming from the flower with pollen, and normally are yellowish or or orange. So this is like the same. We do this, tick tick tick, shadow, and here this, and here it is, our flowers. So I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna do it. I'm putting it like this, even if it's no here. Okay, you see it. And here I'm going with the golden, and look, this is so beautiful, this golden. And I mean, it's a bit it's true that in the camera I don't see it very well, but after that when you put it in the light and it's moving, you know, it's like when the light is a reflection, the sun is reflecting on this, it's really beautiful to have something also like golden in your on your sunflowers. Just as this golden, it's a bit more thick, the point, and you cannot really do something very, very smallish. That's why here in the video I did it like you see with the black one. Yeah, it's a bit better. Okay. Put some bit of shadow also in the leaves, and this is it. So I'm gonna pass to the next two flowers, and we are almost done with the time, unfortunately. I would love to have a bit more time, but I think it's enough for this. So I'm gonna try again with this, with the 05. I hope that it's working. Okay. So now we go to, I'm gonna do the flower here, so you can still see this one, and I'm gonna do the next one. You see it? Yes. So we start like always with like 2-3 lines. And after that we do like a mess here, like we do something like this. This is the beginning of the flower, this is like a middle. So it's like moving my, like when your hand is shaking and you try to keep the hand in the same spot, but it's still shaking, and you do some curly thing, lines, let's say. And from here, this is a very, let's say, freestyle. I'm going with this kind of petals, and I'm trying to have like, you see, like this left and right that are a bit longer, and this one that are here a bit shorter on up and down. And but again, don't get crazy, this doesn't really matter too much. It's like just to to actually, the purpose of all this is to have fun and to see the possibilities. Something fall. Coming back. To see the possibilities of letting your mind free and create with what you have and adapt and get the inspiration and play with what inspired you. So I'm doing the same here. So it's nice to have like a bit this leaves that are not equal, because that is like, again, the contrast, you know. If it's too perfect, it's boring. And our mind, it's filling up the spaces, and it's like, you look at this, it's not a flower, but still it's a flower. The mind is making a flower, you know. It's not like a flower that exists, but, you know, your mind, it's making it. And really, this, I love it so much, because it's like, I don't know, it's like something that it's so easy in a way, but you need to have the mind open to let it like free and play with your hand, like, you know, doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just have fun and play a bit. So this is the flower that I'm gonna do here in the turquoise one, and I'm gonna do also here some leaves that also are like completely like random shape. So this, I'm gonna do just two here, like curly thing, messy thing in the middle, and after that this. Okay. And again here, God, I really hope that this is working till the end. So yeah, don't let your liners in the sun, because I had like 2, 4, 6 I have here, and it seems that it's not working. Okay, this one is working, but it's very thick. Okay, this is my other flower with the random leaves. So, how is it going there? We are at the last one, and the last one I'm gonna do like a kind of let's say something that it's a bit more easy. I'm gonna do it here. So this is like almost like a palm leaf, and we start with very long leaf, and after that we go like around this So we do the main ones that they don't, let's say, overlap, and after that we have in the middle something that it's like on the back, let's say. Okay. So this is like our last leaf, or even flower. You can make it like a flower also, seeing that it's a flower. So first I'm doing this, like let's say the more that are in front. And now I'm going inside. Sometimes you can put 2 or just 1. And if you want to make it like a flower, actually you can add some elements here. Like maybe not everywhere, but something like this. Yeah, sometimes you see it's like how it's working. Like you do something and maybe it's sending you with the mind to another direction, and it's how you come up with the ideas. And now I actually like more this one. But yeah, let's do here also something similar. Okay, you can add like a dot. Now we can play with this. Yes. Okay, so it's 3 o'clock. I want to, if you can drop a line and tell me your feedback, if you like it, what, if you want to do something else. I mean, the idea is that we want to do me and paint events, to do like a series of 10 workshops, each one to be different. I think the next one gonna be about something abstract. Next time we're gonna work a bit with watercolors and everything that you have home, like if you have also acrylics, or if you have let's say pencil, any kind of pencil, or I'm gonna show you something that I have here, like any kind of crayons or pastels or oil pastels or whatever you have home, that is very welcome. And we're gonna do something like a very abstract. Also, I'm gonna explain a bit how it's working, the let's say the abstract and some rules in painting abstract. Yes, so I'm not sure when we're gonna be, if Saturday or Sunday, or I don't know, because it's also this Easter. I don't know how much we can celebrate, but stay tuned on my channels, like Instagram, Facebook, and also Paint Events channels, that like the website and Instagram and Facebook, and you're gonna see there when we're gonna be the next one. Thank you very much for being with me these 2 hours, and I really love to see what you did. If you can tag me on Instagram, would be nice, or Facebook, whatever. If you can send me a message, or like even in the email me, I would be happy to see what you did. And yeah, thank you so much. Have a nice Sunday. Enjoy the sun wherever you can and how you can, and most of everything, stay safe. And yeah, be creative. You can continue with this and do more flowers, following the same thing, like, just invent something and play around with this. From these shapes you can create others, and so on. So yeah, also if you have some questions, you can just drop the lines there, and I'm gonna reply. Now I'm gonna stop the image, but I can still reply on YouTube. So thank you so much. Bye everybody.